let's look at the NFC North. Let's start with the Detroit Lions. The winner of the NFC North, the team where their best chance of winning the entire thing, going to the Super Bowl, may have been last year. Because things get more difficult this year because offensive coordinator, gone. Defensive coordinator, gone. Now you got a whole new set of coordinators, which we know which way it can go in Philadelphia. It can go really well, it can go really bad, depending on the coordinators you pick. You got John Morton as your OC, Kelvin Shepard as your DC. That's what's going on with their situation. Again, they had a random retirement. Their center retires. Frank Ragnow says, I'm done.
That's crazy.
That's what happens in Detroit. Right? Bill, if you great, you're going to retire early in Detroit because you just can't take it anymore.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson. But again, last year, the biggest problem was defense. Defense, they had issues all over the place. They had injuries, Aiden Hutchinson, back to back to back. Maybe they do go to the Super Bowl. Maybe they give the Philadelphia Eagles a real competition in an NFC Championship game if they were healthy, but we'll never know. So before we break down the first 4 games and what we think what's gonna happen, Dev, I'll start with you. Just talk about your overall outlook on the Detroit Lions.
I mean, I think they're still going to be a good team, a competitive team. The NFC North, I feel like, was the formidable division of the league last year. But then if you look at the NFC North's opponents last season, ended up not being a very competitive schedule for most of the NFC North teams. I'm not taking a ton away, from what the Lions accomplished last season. I just think that it's hard to not take any sort of step back when you lose coordinators, when, you have some changes in personnel, when you have some changes in players. So, do I think that they're going to be the offensive juggernaut they were again? Probably not. They're still going to be good, but I also think they have fierce competition within their own division that they have to get past before they can even look to the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what about you, B?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan on their defense, even when they were healthy. And I think, Kelvin Shepard was a disciple, from the previous coordinator, So I don't think that defense is going to be as good. John Morton, the offensive coordinator now, will he be able to go out there and orchestrate an offense that really takes advantage of, Montgomery and those guys, in their positions, Can he make that play action work like it worked with them last year? I don't know. That's going to be tough for them to do. So, I think they're going to go down a little bit. I don't even think they're going to win the division. But they still will be a team that's going to make it to the playoffs and probably meet up with the Eagles, sometime in the playoffs.
Yeah, I question even playoffs. Losing Ben Johnson is going to be big to me. I know some people say he's overrated, and they're like, oh, what did he really bring? But, again, you saw how explosive that offense is. They still have the talent, so I think they'll be a good competitive team, but it's hard to lose all. Like you said it, Dev. It's hard to lose both your coordinators. I don't care if they're good coordinators. Because the sauce is just different, right? Like what you do in big time situations, you may have the same playbook, but what you call on 3rd down, 3rd and 7 is different from what Ben Johnson did on 3rd and 7. Exactly. So, having the players figure that out. So I think it's destined for Detroit, even if this team is going to be formidable for years to come, which I think they will be.
Yeah, they got a good head coach.
Yeah, I think the step back is inevitable. So I can see them not making the playoffs.
Do you think Jared Goff is still going to be as good? Just like everything else aside, do you think Jared Goff can have a year like he had last season?
No.
Yeah, I don't think
I think he'll be good.
I think he's good, but he's
MVP conversations?
No.
Like he was last year? Nah.
Can Morton protect him? Morton's going to have to protect him.
Let's look at
you got Gibbs and Montgomery. You can run the rock.
Yeah, they got the talent, but it's going to be tough. Let's look at their first 4 games. I want to get quick predictions. At Green Bay, win or loss?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Loss for the Lions?
I'm going loss.
Yes. In fact, they give you a little precursor. I think Green Bay is going to win the division. That's just my
really.
You're supposed to hold off on that, B. Brooks.
I know. I always jump the gun.
Spoiler.
I'm sorry.
Spoiler.
I'm going to say the Lions are going to win.
Okay. Chicago home.
So Lions win.
Lions.
Yeah, me too. At Baltimore, L.
Loss.
Loss.
Yeah. Home against Cleveland.
Win.
All right.
So 3-1?
Essentially a 3-1. Essentially 3-1 or 2-2, depending on what you had the first game. I think we had 2-2. You had 3-1, Dev. So again, will be a decent start. Let's go to the next team, the Vikings, trading in Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, the youngin coming up.
Yes.
Sam Darnold. We all didn't know he was going to have that type of season last year, which is why the Minnesota Vikings were so good. J.J. McCarthy, they have their faith in. They added some elements. They added Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargraves to that defensive line. They bolstered the O-line, too. Ryan Kelly, Will Fries. Barrett Brooks, Minnesota Vikings. Can they be as good as they were last year?
It depends on what you're saying is, are they going to be as good? Is it going to be as far as a record being
14-3, 13-4.
I mean, they could still be as good, but not win as many games, but go farther in the playoffs. I think they'll be a better balanced team because, I mean, look at, just like you said, man, their offense and their defense is unbelievable. Can J.J. McCarthy go out there and run an offense that, take advantage of Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison? We'll see. But I think they're going to be good. I think right now they're number 2, and Detroit on the same line as far as number 2 in that division. I like them on defense. That's the biggest thing right there. Them adding, Jonathan Allen is huge. He's a huge guy in the middle of that defense. Hargraves, when he's healthy, he can play at a high level also. So, they went and got our boy Isaiah Rodgers. He's starting cornerback for him on the outside.
Oh, right.
I think it'll be good.
Oh, my gosh, I forgot.
I think they're going to be really good.
Okay, what about you, Dev?
I just think that the Vikings are we don't know because it's a quarterback that we haven't really seen play in the league. So
he's still a rookie, yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, but they have the best receiver in the league in Justin Jefferson, and they have a good, number 2 receiver in Jordan Addison. So, I mean, he has options. I think they'll be good. I think the Lions will still likely win the division if I had to choose.
Okay. I
don't know. I just feel like I don't have a good read on the Vikings because of the quarterback situation.
I'm gonna say no because I don't believe in J.J. McCarthy.
Why? We haven't even seen him play in the
I didn't
NFL.
believe he should have been a first-round pick. I didn't believe in him in Michigan. And
he won a championship.
Because they ran the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
Right? Like J.J. McCarthy, and I was wrong about Bo Nix, so maybe that draft I'm wrong about. But J.J. McCarthy is to me the king of big arm, big body, but doesn't have the tape.
Yeah.
No one could tell me as a Penn State
Harbaugh
guy,
too.
Yeah, he had Harbaugh. As a Penn State guy, no one could tell me he had the tape. The thing was about him is, make Michigan throw the rock.
Yeah. Make
them throw the rock 30 a game. Because if they bully you, you're going to lose. And so that's why I still am not a J.J. McCarthy. Again, big arm, big dude is quote-unquote prototype status. But to me, he hasn't delivered since college the way he needs to deliver. So I'm not a believer in the Vikings. Let's go to the next team. Let's go to the Packers. Young team that, right, they haven't been special.
Yeah.
But they've been consistently good, consistently in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They want a young wide receiver somewhere to step up to really be something for Jordan Love. It's one of those teams, again, just consistent, but not championship, not peaking where some of the other teams in the division have peaked over the last couple of years. What do you think about the Packers, Deb?
So I think that I let my personal allegiances with NFL teams get in the way when it comes to the Packers because I just don't like them as a team. But I also just don't. They're not a team. And yes, me not liking them personally could play into this for sure. But I don't enjoy watching the Packers play. Is Jordan Love I'm not even going to say elite because he's definitely not an elite quarterback. But is Jordan Love, a great quarterback? I'm honestly not sure. I feel like people overrate him, and I feel like they've been overrating him for the last several seasons since he's been the Packers starting quarterback. So I just don't know what to make of them, and it's really hard to get myself to believe in that Packers team, especially when they're in a tough division like the NFC North. So.
Hey, you said that all last year too. Not a believer. Are you a believer?
And guess what? They got knocked out by the Eagles. They were underwhelming. I find them a very underwhelming team.
Okay.
I do like them. I like them a lot. In fact, I already gave you a precursor, but I mean their defense. I think this is the time when their defense is going to step up. They have 4 or 5 first rounders starting for them right now in that front 7. So they can ball out. And a lot of the players they picked up are players I wanted the Eagles to pick up. For instance, Quay Walker, a Georgia guy. I wanted him to come in and play linebacker for us. The list goes down and down on how good they be. Then they went and got Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper, one of the best linebackers in the draft last year. He's going to be starting for them now. Then on the offensive side of the ball, they have everything that you want. They have, 2 really good tight ends, and Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. So, I love tight ends. Ain't nothing like a good tight end. You know what I mean?
Wait. Can we just go back, though? Two really good tight ends in Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave.
Yes, they're pretty good.
Pretty good, but they're not like,
you're like
George Kittle or...
For what they want to do, and they're going to run play action. And when they play action, they got Josh Jacobs. Mm-hmm. They can run the rock in 12 personnel, one right back, two tight ends. And then over the top, they're receivers. I lost all my faith in Christian Watson. I mean, big kid, long kid, like 6'6" or something like that, can run. He's just not the guy for me. I really like Jaden Reed, and Romeo Dobbs is healthy. He's good too. But they went and got a guy in Savion Williams, TCU. This guy could do everything. I mean, he's probably going to be their slot receiver. He's going to run reverses. I mean, he reminds me a lot of a Deebo Samuels. This kid can play, man. So I think he's going to open things up for him.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm realizing? Sorry, in our chat, we're like talking about Tucker Kraft, and you just mentioned Christian Watson. I think I find the Packers underwhelming in a way because they've definitely lost me. Like anytime I bet on like a specific player, like a prop, whether it's touchdowns or like over rushing or receiving yards, I feel like it never hit last season. So probably because of that, I have a bad taste in my mouth.
I like the Packers, but I think the reason why you're like, they don't have stars, right? Like they lack star playmakers. Like they got Josh Jacobs, who's tremendous. He's a star playmaker, but they don't have too many things that you can name off the top of your head.
Exactly.
All pro, Pro Bowl, cornerback that can get
like
the ball.
A Justin
all
Jefferson,
pro wide receiver.
Like
they don't have any of those stuff. But I think what carries them is they have, in my opinion, in the division, the best quarterback coach combo. I think Matt LaFleur is probably the best coach in the division, and you put him with Jordan Love.
You think he's better than Campbell?
Yes. I think he's better than Campbell. I think Campbell had a lot more, and so he did more last year, but the Packers have been consistently up here. More consistent since Matt LaFleur has been there, more consistent than Detroit. Let's go through their games real quick. Packers facing at home against Detroit.
I already said that. I think Packers win.
Detroit.
All right, I got the Packers too. At home against Washington, Thursday Night Football, short week.
And that was a good game when they played last year. I think I like the Packers.
Packers.
Yep.
I'm going to go. They're at home, so I'm going to go Packers. At Cleveland.
They'll be Cleveland.
Packers.
Yep.
At Dallas.
Packers again.
I'm going Dallas.
Dallas.
Packers.
Okay.
Revenge.
There's 2-2, 3-1. I think 4-0. Okay. I didn't do Minnesota, so let's do this real quick. Minnesota at Chicago.
Minnesota. Chicago.
Switch it up. Okay. Home against Atlanta.
Minnesota.
I'm going Atlanta.
I'm going Minnesota. Home against Cincinnati. I'm going Cincy. Home against Pittsburgh in Dublin, though.
I think Minnesota gets them.
Minnesota, because I think Pittsburgh's going to be a hot mess.
I'm going to go Pitt. I think we have mixed things. 4-4, I think we have here. Let's get to Chicago, the Bears. New head coach, Ben Johnson, coming in. Again, their biggest issue last year to me was the offensive line. The offensive line stunk, so they couldn't get anything done. Chicago, what's their outlook on them?
And they went out and got some offensive linemen, so new quarterback, just a new way of thinking. It's going to be tough on them, of course. Williams, to me, he wasn't the best quarterback in that draft, to me. You know what I'm saying? But then you don't help him out when you don't have an offensive line, But they went out to Kansas City, got Joe Tooney. He was out of position when he played for Kansas City. He should have been a guard. They had him at tackle. They had nothing else to do. Nothing else they could do. They went and got first rounder tight end. Love my tight ends. They got Loveland. Loveland's going to be great for a young tight end. Yeah, so he's going to do well for them. And Swift is still a pretty good back. Their defense is going to be rock solid. So I think they're going to be better than they were last year. I don't know if they'll go over 500, but I think they'll be able to compete a lot better this year.
Okay. What about you, Dev?
I agree with Barrett, his final statement there. I think they're going to be able to compete a lot better than last year. I mean, last year, you have to remember the horrific luck they had. The Hail Mary with Washington. They had so many games just come down to the wire. And I don't think Caleb Williams is, going to be an elite quarterback, but I do think they've certainly given him better tools to succeed.
Absolutely.
Do I think that the Bears are going to win the division? No, probably not. But I certainly think that they'll be, more competitive. So I think an above, maybe slightly above 500 season. could be possible.
Yeah, to me, if they're competent offensively, right? Competent with the offensive line. I mean, last year, a Bears fan would tell you, Kenny would tell you, like, the offensive line was terrible. Caleb was running for his life. And as a young quarterback who hasn't really learned the game like that, it was terrible for him. So if Ben Johnson can come in there and, hey, we're going to do some screens, we're going to do some creative things, we're going to protect our offensive line when our offensive line isn't playing well. Barry, you would know, I mean, you've been part of great offensive lines, but if an offensive line is struggling, you're like, can you please not let my quarterback drop back 5 steps and then get rid of it 3 seconds when I got to face,
right?
You know what I mean?
I mean, you look at Caleb, he didn't mature as a player, as a quarterback, because there's nothing he could do to go through his reads, to go through and see what teams are trying to do to him, because he was running for his life the entirety of the game. So it's hard to say, all right, you played bad when you had, bad production around you. When you're running for your life and they're trying to take your head off, I mean, it's tough, man. So, yeah, I mean.
There can't be no worse feeling than when you're like, the offense coordinator called 5-step drop and I got Warren Sapp in front of me.
Right.
Like, come on. What are we doing?
Right.